Good morning, and welcome to Play by Play Camp. I'm Peyton, and this is Jake. First, we're going to start off with the Phillies.
Let's jump into some baseball. The Atlanta Braves are at the Phillies for a 3-game set, and there's an overthrow. Freddie Galvis swipes third and is heading home on the overthrow by the catcher. Phillies take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Next up, Aaron Altair. Julio Teheran's pitcher throws one in. Aaron Altair sends one deep to left field. That's a double-decker. That's one of the farthest home runs Phillies have hit all year. That was an absolute bomb by Aaron Altair, and as you can see, Julio Teheran is very upset. Cameron Rupp says, I can do that too. Hits another bomb. Left center field. Cameron Rupp, one of the players for the Phillies trying to fight for a spot for the 2018 roster. And the Phillies are very excited, as you can see. Freddie Galvis hits a shot in the right field. Markakis diving, missing. The ball rolls all the way back to the right field wall. Freddie Galvis is hustling around, pulls into third. And then there's another overthrow by the Braves defense. And Freddie Galvis comes around the score. The Phillies take this one 10-3.
Now we go off to Super Bowl 51 in the state of football, Houston, Texas. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are trying to be the first pair to win 5 Super Bowls. Can they do it? Here we are. Here we go. Starting off with Matt Ryan to Freeman as the Falcons are just getting started with their touchdown roll here. As he goes down. Then we have Blunt. Why was he dumped to the Philadelphia Eagles? Here's why. He drops the pass, and luckily it is recovered by a fellow Patriot, unfortunately. Then we have Julio Jones shows off all of that hard work he puts in training camp in that weight room by just stripping it from the Patriots, which is my favorite part. Then Ryan shows off Freeman here by just having him dive into that end zone perfectly. Now the Falcons are up by 2 touchdowns. Then Ryan finds the back of the end zone barely. And here is my favorite part. Tom Brady throws it right to Alfredo, who just walks into the end zone. I mean, look at that. Patriots players aren't even following him. Like, that's embarrassing. At least try. And just like that, the Falcons are soaring high. I mean, come on. That's exactly what they do, right? All right, and out from under a rock sets James White sets up Groskowski, unfortunately. Look at him. Can a Falcon please get him? Thank you. All right, here we go. Now Groskowski's going to make it 21-3 going into the half. Unfortunately, some people think he is one of the best kickers in the NFL, but that's a personal opinion of some people.
Another highlight from the first half, Gabriel puts Malcolm Butler on skates. Then Coleman's wide open in the end zone, makes it 28-3. This game seems out of reach for the Patriots, and it seems like Tom Brady won't do the impossible. But then Tom Brady has other plans. He drops back to pass, can't find anybody, and runs for 15 yards. The Patriots are in business. Tom Brady's calm and cool under all the pressure of the Super Bowl. Tom Brady finds White for his second touchdown of the game. White, don't forget that name. He'll be back later. White had a big day for the Super Bowl. Next, Matt Ryan drops back. Oh, it's fumbled. Dante Hightower strips the ball loose, and the Patriots get the ball back. This is a huge turn of events. With time running down in the fourth quarter, Tom Brady steps back. Finds Danny Amendola for a touchdown. Patriots are still in business, 18-28. Tom Brady back again in the red zone. Tom Brady, slick and smart, calls the audible. White goes in for his second touchdown of the game. Then Matt Ryan steps back. This is one of the best plays of the game, drops back, finds Julio Jones. It's a crazy catch. That's one of the best catches in Super Bowl history. They go to the instant replay. They see 1, 2. He got 2 feet down and maintains control of the football. That is a great catch. That is insane. With great defense by Eric Rowe, Julio Jones somehow comes down with the ball. Tom Brady says, I can make another great catch too. It is tipped and caught. Somehow caught. Wow. Julian Edelman. That's an even better catch. Julian Edelman makes one of the best catches in Super Bowl history. Juggles it around and somehow pulls it in, keeping it off the turf. Through 3 Falcon defenders. That's crazy. Then they're in the red zone, 28. White with his 3rd touchdown of the day. It's a 2-point game. Patriots are still in it. They need a 2 to tie. Tom Brady finds Amendola. Did he cross the line? He crossed the line. 28-28. Who won the coin toss? You already know. Patriots won. Overtime. Tom Brady goes to his man White again. On a sweep. Finds White. White finds the end zone. Touchdown Patriots. Patriots win. Of a final score of 34-28. Those are your Super Bowl winners. As you can see, they pulled off the impossible. Tom Brady, 5 rings. It's amazing.
Now we go to California. California is just drowning in fun, lively people, including John Coran, or Jr., the 17-year-old from Martin Luther King High School. He sounds like your typical jock, but the difference with John is he's 7 foot, 440 pounds, and only a junior in high school. All things aside, he's a regular high school guy. He enjoys mudding in his Ford truck, riding his four-wheeler, and watching the San Francisco 49ers.
There's been a lot of talk this second year with Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott are 2 of the up-and-rising quarterbacks in the NFL today. There's a lot of debate about who's a better overall player. Personally, I think Carson Wentz is better. When you look at the support of offense that Dak has, he's a better wide receiver. He's better wide receivers, a Pro Bowl offensive line with the best rookie running back, a veteran tight end, and Jason Witten. And then you have Carson Wentz, who has no wide receivers, and his wide receiving core was second to last in drop passes. Wentz also had a poor offensive line, with the offensive lineman suspended for PEDs for 10 games.
Signing off from Play Live Play Camp, I'm Peyton, and this is Jake. Have a great night. All right, here we go. A huge hit by number 25 on the Washington Capitals. And then, who is that? Is tripped up. Niskanen's tripped up. And number Kuzi has, no. What's that? All right, here we go. This is Matt Niskanen bringing the puck back. He passes it back to number 77, TJ Oshie. TJ Oshie brings it up, brings it around, and loses it to Hornquist, number 72. And here we have Niskanen bringing it back around again. And he brings it up, and he passes it to, that is TJ Oshie again. And TJ Oshie loses it for another time. And back to Niskanen on defense, the blue line. Niskanen's dancing with it. And there's Ovechkin with the top shelf go over Murphy's head right there. And look, he is just so upset. Ovechkin is obviously fighting and scratching his way back for the Capitals. And if you see, look at this replay. He does it right from the blue line, and it is just perfect top shelf. Look at that. Back up. He doesn't even see it. Murray does not even see it. It goes right over his head. And he moves his glove way too slowly on that.
Yeah, despite the 3-1 deficit here, I really like what the Washington Capitals have done on the forecheck. Oshie and Ovechkin have really looked good, pushing the puck forward on the ice, and I think with over 11 minutes left, they could climb back into this.
I don't know if the 11 minutes is enough, considering how much the Penguins' defense has limited the Capitals offensively in this game. I mean, that's the first goal, and it's coming with 11 minutes left.
And Kuznetsov loses the draw, and the Pittsburgh brings it back around. Okay, that's Johansson bringing it up the left side here. He's skating. He has the puck. He's on the boards around with number 12 on him. And Kuznetsov takes a shot and is covered by Murphy. And Kuznetsov gets in a little bit of a hassle with a couple Pittsburgh defenders.
Yeah, I like that shot there. The Capitals are still pushing, just trying to climb back in this game down 3-1.
And there's
Ovechkin, a big player, but we'll see what he can do when we come back.
Look, those fans celebrating. All right, Kuznetsov's taking the draw again here against number 7. Kuznetsov is just great at faceoffs this season. He's won so many. All right, Kuznetsov on the boards. Ovechkin gets it out to the center of the ice, and Ovechkin's fighting his way right in front, and Murray covers it again. You know, Murray actually wasn't even supposed to start this series, guys. He, their other goalie,
Marc-Andre
yes,
Fleury.
Marc-Andre Fleury was warming up for the first round of the first game, and he actually tore his hamstring, and Murray had to come in and clean up for him, unfortunately. And Kuznetsov is going to take another draw here. As I said, he is our draw boy.
The Capitals getting a lot of shots on goal here late in the third period, but Murray really watching the puck, and the Capitals need to get someone down in front of him.
Definitely, definitely. All right, we have, who is that? Number 9, Orlov down there. Orlov passes it to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov passes to Johansson. Johansson's bringing it up and back to Kuznetsov. And they're on the boards. Pittsburgh has the possession of the puck. And Pittsburgh's obviously thinking what they should do with this. And there's Brandon Holtby, the star for the DC team. Couldn't you guys argue that?
That could be argued as we're getting an icing call here. But the Alexander Ovechkin, with the only goal so far, that's his 4th of the playoffs. But what Washington has failed to do against Pittsburgh is score offensively, and Matt Murray has just been dominant in this series against the Capitals.
There's one thing Alex Ovechkin hasn't been able to do, and that's get his team to a Stanley Cup final. And losing this game here, if they do go on to do that in a series that's tied 1-1, isn't going to help that case.
Definitely not. All right. And that goes past Murray and is picked up by a Pittsburgh player who is bringing it up with the defender, number 65, Andrei Burakovsky, on him. Andre is actually roommates with Tom Wilson. They've been boarding together all year since Michael Latta was traded to the Kings this past season. And the Pittsburgh defenseman has it behind the net. And it is still in the Pittsburgh zone. I believe that is Kessel who has the puck. And Holtby saves it again because he is just incredible. You know, that glove that he has is truly amazing.
Holtby has been incredible during the regular season, but with the past few seasons, with the Capitals being eliminated in the second round, it seems like Holtby gets tired, especially in the playoffs, but somehow it always comes around to the second round. As you can see, Matt Cullen there for the Penguins with a blocked shot today.
And here we have 87, Mr. Sidney Crosby, facing off of our, who's that, number 10? I do not know. Number 26 is bringing it up. And then we're back to Orlov, who was recently drafted, I believe, 2 years ago out of Russia. So him and Ovechkin are just buddy perfectly. Has it been 5 minutes yet?
So as you can see, Matt Murray, that one goes into the boards, and it just shows how dominant Matt Murray has been in this series, only allowing 1 goal today.
And you know what I love about Orlov is he is so physical. He brings a lot to the table. You know, not only is he fast and great on defenses, he just really is not afraid to give a couple people some big hits, which I love about him.
So as you can see there, Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin are tied now for the Penguins' most playoff games in Penguins history, both with 108, just behind Jaromir Jagr, who's now Florida Panther.
Yeah, he's doing big things down there in Florida. How old is he now?
Believe he's around 42, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my gosh. All right. Evgeny Kuznetsov actually won that draw, ladies and gentlemen, versus the Penguins. We are back here in Pittsburgh. All right, there's Orlov again with the puck, passing it to 90 Johansson. Johansson passing it to Carlson. Carlson going deep, but nobody's there. All right, Ovechkin's now on the ice, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody back up. That's Carlson to...
Wrap it up.
Oh, perfect. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night.
We already closed it. Welcome back to Fox and Game 7 of the 2016 World Series between the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians. Albert Almora is on first base and Chris Bryant at the plate. After a Schwarber single, Almora came in to pinch run. I'm Tyler Katz, joined with Peyton Wolfe. And that's going to be Chris Bryant, who skies that into right field. That one is deep, but it's going to be caught in center field, and that's the first out. Almora is going to tag up and make it to second base, so the Cubs have a runner in scoring position here in the 10th inning.
You know, the last Cub to win MVP was Sammy Sosa in 1998, but I think Chris Bryant has a run to do it here, Tyler.
So that will bring up the first baseman for the Chicago Cubs, Anthony Rizzo, who's been having an MVP season himself, and he will come up with a runner in scoring position for the Cubs. Brian Shaw, the pitcher for the Indians, has a 3.86 ERA so far this postseason.
You know, Anthony Rizzo is just one of my favorite first basemen to watch. I think he's just so much fun.
So now a meeting at the mound. Terry Francona is going to leave Shaw in this game, but they do have Trevor Bauer warming up in the bullpen. Shaw 16 pitches into his appearance today. Rizzo 1 for 3 today with a single and an RBI. And Ben Zobrist is on deck. Failed to get a hit today for Zobrist.
You know, Rizzo is just an all-around incredible athlete, you know, being able to overcome the things he has overcome and still be able to make it here. It's all-around amazing in general for the Cubs to make it here.
So it looks like Shaw will intentionally walk Rizzo to get the force out at any base. So that will put up Ben Zobrist with runners at first and second with one out.
I mean, you can see Rizzo just is not happy here.
He definitely wants to try and get an opportunity to drive in that run to put the Cubs on top, as there's ball 3. Waiting for the intentional walk.
Oh.
And there he goes off to first base. So now Ben Zobrist, left fielder for the Cubs, will stand in with runners on first and second. Again, Trevor Bauer warming up in the bullpen for the Cleveland Indians. So we'll see if he makes an appearance.
Ben is 0 for 4 today.
Definitely would like to get that hit that would win the Cubs their first World Series in over 100 years.
1908, Tyler. And the Indians have not won since 1948.
So history will be ended tonight, and that one's up and in. Zobrist has to duck out of the way of that one. The Cubs have a miserable 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. Definitely not where they want to be in Game 7 of the World Series, as Indians fans look on nervously. So Zobrist stands in. And that one's going to be a called strike up in the zone at the letters.
Zobrist is an amazing athlete himself. You know, he may give Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant a run for their money when it comes to MVP if they can pull this off here, Tyler.
Not only that, but it would be a great comeback for the Chicago Cubs, being down 3-1 at one point in this series.
Oh, yes.
And that one's going to go right down the middle at 95 miles per hour by Brian Shaw. So we take a look on Fox Tracks there. That one's scraping the zone, so that wasn't right down the middle. It was actually more towards ball territory, but it was a called strike 2. And that one's a clear ball outside, but Zobrist is going to take a hack at it, and it's fouled off to the third base side.
He looks just like he did in Arizona, you know, ready to swing at anything, and just really ready here in this World Series.
So Addison Russell, the Cubs shortstop on deck, he as well is without a hit today.
Joe Madden looking on nervously.
Can't imagine what he would feel like if he brought this World Series to Chicago.
That would just be exhilarating for him and for this organization.
So that one's driven down the left field line. Almora's going to come in to score. Will Bryant come in to score? No, Bryant will hold at third. So it is an RBI double for Ben Zobrist, and the Chicago Cubs have the lead in Game 7 of the World Series. Can you believe it?
Rizzo's so shocked right there, so excited.
So now the Cubs have runners at second and third base, a one-run lead, and in steps the shortstop Addison Russell. Can he give the Cubs some insurance now in the 10th inning? The Cubs are fired up. Meanwhile, Terry Francona is definitely calling to the bullpen right now, checking on Trevor Bauer, as they are going to intentionally walk Addison Russell, their second intentional walk of this inning, and that will load the bases for catcher Miguel Montero. The Cubs still ecstatic with that RBI double from Zobrist.
You can just tell they're on their tippy toes here. They're just so nervous. Nobody knows what's going to come next in this game. It's so exciting to watch.
With as many twists and turns in this game, including about an hour rain delay, anything can happen, especially with that much rest in between.
Can you imagine the nerves going through their locker room during that rain delay?
So here we see the replay. That one's just drilled right by the glove of the Indians' third baseman. And an unnecessary slide there by Albert Almora. But you can tell he is fired up. Cubs lead 7-6. And everybody is just fired up right now. The Cubs are on the glimpse of bringing home their first World Series title in 108 years. And what did you say it was, 108?
They have not won since 1908, Tyler.
1908. So Miguel Montero this postseason batting under 100 batting average.
Can only imagine the excitement outside of Wrigley right now, Tyler. It's got to be crazy out there.
Unbelievable watching the Jumbotron outside of Wrigley. That's all they can do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Right there.
Mike, welcome back to Game 7, Fox's coverage of the World Series. I'm Tyler Katz along with Peyton Wolfe. Mike Montgomery stands in for the Chicago Cubs in the bottom of the 10th inning. And the Cubs added a run from when we last left you in the top of the 10th, but also Cleveland has added a run. But now with the Indians down to their final out, the pressure is certainly starting to mount on not only Cleveland, but on Chicago to bring home their first World Series in 108 years. And that one's going to be over to Rizzo, to Bryant. It's the Cubs winning the World Series. They've done it the first time in 108 years. The Chicago Cubs are your 2016 World Series champions.
I just could not believe that throw. That was so amazing. And you could see Chris Bryant smiling the whole time. You know, he has worked so hard from this, just being a boy from right outside Vegas to get here. That is just so amazing to me.
And the Indians walk off in utter disappointment. But what a victory by the Chicago Cubs. And Joe Madden brings home a title to Chicago.
Oh, look at Rizzo crying.
Welcome back to Football Now here on ESPN. Alongside my co-host Peyton Wolfe, I'm Jackson Neal. On our minds today is the Dallas Cowboys. Peyton, what is your outlook for them this season?
I think it is just going to be an amazing season for them. You know, they have Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and they work so well together. And I think that, you know, it is going to be a good race for the NFC East. You know, the playoffs are going to be tricky, and it's really going to be interesting to see if they can keep this hot streak that they got going rolling.
See, when I look at the Dallas Cowboys, you mentioned the NFC East right there. Other teams in the division got better. Eagles added Alshon Jeffrey, the Giants adding Brandon Marshall, two very high-powered offenses. Right. Do you think this Dallas Cowboys defense is going to be able to keep up with these high-powered offenses?
You know, I think they can. I truly like their offense. Their defense does, you know, can get the job done. They're not one of the best in the league, but like I said, they can get the job done. And I just think they're off. It's going to be more of a matter of the other team's defense. You know, can they really stop Zeke? You know, he's so small and has so much power in him, even though he's just this little guy. And, you know, and Dak can also, you know, use his arm. It's going to be interesting to see if he uses his arm a little bit more this season instead of, you know, giving it to Zeke as much. So I'm really excited for that.
One thing I'm looking at for this Dallas Cowboys offense is Dak Prescott.
Right.
Lots of times in the second year you see regression from quarterbacks. And you got to start to wonder, is this going to be a regression year for Dak Prescott because it was so he had such a great rookie year, and maybe in the second year teams start to figure it out or things along that line. I'm just getting word from my producers. We have some breaking news here on Football Now. Tim Tebow has quit the Mets and will focus now on getting a career.
Oh my gosh.
In football.
You know.
Oh, acting career. Sorry, my producers.
Do you think he can do that? Jackson, what are you thinking?
Well, I look at Tim Tebow as somebody we always talk about. LeVar Ball, Tim Tebow,
right.
those are the names people are always mentioning. And whether you like it or not, everyone wants to hear more about them.
Right.
He's a huge name. Hollywood's about huge names. I think he'll be incredibly successful as an actor.
You know, I do agree with that statement. One thing that I think he'd be really good at is, I know every Sunday morning, early in the morning, they have those church ceremonies on TV, and I think he could really pull that off. But also, being a female, you know, in the female community, he is very big, very attractive, and there's things that, you know, he has just, like you said, made a name for himself. I mean, the whole Tebowing, maybe that'll come back. That'll be interesting to see. I also like how, you know, he did give a try at baseball, and he did actually make a nice imprint. So, you know, and people doubted him with that. So let's see if he can make a big imprint with this.
And I mean, you mentioned the Christian faith in that. You see a lot of these talk shows nowadays. There's almost seems to be these genres that are being created. Judge Judy there in the law. Then you also have Dr. Phil in these you know, in the mental health category. Maybe we start to see something else with the Catholic faith.
People,
and see talk show with him. He would be perfect for that.
I can see him making, like you said, something like Dr. Phil. You know, I think he would really fit perfectly in that and being able to help people because he is so big and his family is so big on helping people, you know, being from Florida. I know his dad, his parents have done multiple missionary trips, and he himself has done multiple missionary trips. So I think that will be really interesting to see.
Well, that'll wrap it up for this Football Now edition. For my co-host Peyton Wolfe, I'm Jackson Neal. We'll see you next time on ESPN.
I just finished talking to Aaron Judge, and he says even though he's leading the league in home runs, he is still staying in a hotel just in case the Yankees send him back to the minors. I'm Peyton Wolfe in Philadelphia from ESPN.